Welcome into the Daily Wager studios here on the Las Vegas Strip alongside Tyler Fulghum and Joe Fortenbaugh. I'm Doug Kezirian. I know it's only March, but we're going to be talking NFL teams, and we're going to touch on every single team between now and the season. So right now we're talking about yes-no propositions right now, Caesars William Hill, in terms of playoffs. Tyler, I want to start with you. What's a team, yes or no, that you kind of jumps out to you?
You know, my favorite team is the Rams, but I'm looking at the other LA team at SoFi Stadium, the LA Chargers, and I think, yes, they are a playoff team this year. Plus 145 is the price you get on that. Justin Herbert should make a second-year leap. Most QBs do, and he was already amazing as a rookie. So if your quarterback goes from as good as Herbert was to borderline all-pro, Pro Bowl level, that's a great start. Offensive weapons galore in the backfield. At wide receiver with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. They lost Hunter Henry, but added Jared Cook, a good veteran, and then Brandon Staley coming in as the head coach, I think is a massive upgrade over Anthony Lynn. Staley's a bright coach on both sides of the ball. He'll get Derwin James back as all-pro safety to pair with Joey Bosa up front. So I just think they're going to be a well-rounded, good team with an upgraded coach and an upgraded quarterback just by virtue of a great quarterback being even better in his second year.
Started the season 2-7, closed 5-2, so there was progress throughout the course of the year, which is what you want to see. The Chargers went 5-7 in one-score games last year. If they get better with that end-of-half and end-of-game management, they can certainly flip the script and win a couple more games.
Tyler, you're not new to sports, but you're new to Vegas. And I've heard a lot of Chargers Kool-Aid over the years. Only to have a lot of broken hearts. So I'm just preparing you. Now, they've obviously made the playoffs a few times here and there, but there's a lot of hype for this team every year.
And they also seem to have the worst injury luck every year of anything.
Oh, yeah.
They need to shake that, but I understand the trepidation when it comes to the Chargers.
Now, stop puncturing the lung of your own players.
There you go.
So you might avoid some of those problems.
But that did open the door for
That's a good point.
their rookie QB, Justin Herbert. So I'm going to go to the other LA team, and I like the Rams to make the playoffs. Now, it gets a little juicy at minus 200. Any higher, like 240 or so, I would be off it. But the conversation starts with Matthew Stafford, and just how much of an improvement it is over Jared Goff. We know about McVay and how great he is, but he was limited. He had handcuffed a little bit by this quarterback who struggled in cold weather the times they had to go back east. Struggled on the road in general, even offensively at home he was limited. So I think Stafford, get him out of Detroit, where they're just trying to erase deficits all the time. I just think they're going to be so much better. They are a Super Bowl contender. We talk about it all the time. Second year of the third wild card team, so an extra wild card team. And the division is the big concern. But everything I'm seeing, I don't really love elsewhere. Like the Niners trading up, is that going to make Jimmy Garoppolo better? Even if he's the starter, we don't operate in a vacuum. That's going to affect a guy like that. How about Seattle? All the noise surrounding Russell Wilson. How does this end well? It's going to be a lot of like, oh, it's just a misunderstanding. We're going to go 10-6, 11-5. I don't think that happens. So I just trust the stability and obviously the QB upgrade with the Rams.
Great balance. Great upgrade at QB. The one thing that concerns me is the loss of defensive coordinator Brandon Staley, who you mentioned went to the Chargers. The Rams were 13th in total defense, 17th in scoring defense the year before he arrived. Last year, they were first in both categories. Not saying it's a huge loss, but I do keep my eye on that.
There will be some defensive regression, but I do think Raheem Morris is a capable defensive coordinator who they brought in. We saw his Atlanta defense get better once he took over after Dan Quinn was fired in Atlanta this season. So I think there'll be some slight regression defensively, but you still have Ramsey, you still have Donald, and then the progression offensively, I think, is going to make them, again, a 10 or 11 win team like they were last year.
Yeah, they lost some of the big names, obviously, but I just think with Stafford and those weapons, and McVay. McVay's going to have a lot of fun with a guy, a veteran quarterback who can read defenses like Stafford.
Let's take a shot here. The Minnesota Vikings are plus 150 to make the playoffs. I'm going to invest in that. I like the opportunity here. 7-9 last season, so it wasn't a complete disaster. But head coach Mike Zimmer came out and said that was the worst defense he's ever had in his career. Guys, he's been coaching defense in the NFL since 1994.
That includes the Bengals, too. Yeah.
It includes a lot of bad defenses. They were 27th in opponent yards per play, 29th in scoring defense, 28th in sacks. So what did they do this offseason? They went out and they upgraded the defense. Take a look at some of the signings. Patrick Peterson at cornerback to go alongside Mackenzie Alexander, who they brought back into the fold. You bring in Dalvin Tomlinson as a defensive tackle. Xavier Woods comes in to shore up the secondary, and suddenly you have a defense that is now going to be paired up with an offense that was top 4 last season in the NFL. Cousins is back. Dalvin Cook is back. Jordan Jefferson's going to be in year 2. Adam Thielen's back. Justin Jefferson, thank you. This is a really good offense with an upgraded D at 7-9 with the Bears and the Lions in that division and the extra playoff spot. I think there's a lot of opportunity.
I was going to ask you about the division because obviously the Packers have set the bar under Matt LaFleur each of the last 2 years. Bears, we just don't really know what we're going to get with them. Obviously, the Lions losing Stafford, figure to be in rebuilding mode.
If it's Andy Dalton, I'm not concerned.
Right.
They go make the move for Russ, which I don't think happens, then we've got a new conversation on our hands. Detroit, it's going to be a rebuild. In fact, it's been a rebuild, since it started.
Since Barry Sanders.
One thing that Mike Zimmer and that defense can look forward to helping them improve in 2021 is they'll have fans again inside that stadium.
Yes.
That's one of the loudest, best home field advantages in all of the NFL. So even if it's not fully filled up, just any amount of fans on third down being loud or on fourth and short being loud will help Mike Zimmer's defense along with the personnel upgrades. So fans, I think, for a franchise like Minnesota is important as any being in the stands.
That is a great point. Talking to odds makers going into last season, the first time we would not have fans, they said it's most pronounced in red zone defense. Vikings were among the top 5 each of the last couple of years. I think Denver was up there too, and that hurt them last year. That's a fabulous point because we always think it's just it's the red zone defense,
Right.
and that's where the Vikings really excelled. All right, that's going to do it for us. So we touched on 3 teams. We have plenty more to get through, and it's never too early to talk NFL.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.